Don't forget to subscribe to the Hammer and Nails YouTube channel. Also, be sure to click the bell icon for notifications of future uploaded content.
Warning: drinking and the use of power tools is highly inadvisable. Know your limits before attempting anything from the show. Or don't. You're an adult. I'm not your mother.
Welcome back to Hammer and Nails, the show where I drink different exotic beers, build things, and fix broken shit. Today, we're going to upcycle. I'm sure we've all heard the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Today, that's not the case, because I went trash picking and found some broken shit. My big black clock, right here, doesn't work. We're going to fix that and make it a little bit nicer. And then found some drums. What we're going to do is we're going to make an end table out of this one. We're also going to make a backing for this clock. But this drum used to look like this, but it does no longer. And it came with all the hardware, and I got a special top that we're going to use for on top of here. All right, let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with the clock first. We're going to take this piece of plywood, cut it down to a more manageable size, and then this is a pretty simple one. What we're going to do is we're going to trace the clock, cut it out, sand it, stain it, attach it to the back of the clock. And then we're going to fix the mechanisms on the inside because the hands and everything are broken. Clock laying on our back here. Now, take a couple measurements here to here, in here a little bit. We just want to cut out a spot in the center of this wood so we can access the mechanisms of the clock there so we can fix it. Well, we got this cut out and sanded. Now we're going to put it aside and get to the drum end table. Now it's time for everybody's favorite part, or at least mine. Mystery beer. That is not a beer. Should we do it again? Now it's time for everybody's favorite part, mystery whiskey. Feel right. All right, let's give it a taste, I guess. Well, it doesn't really smell that strong. Not bad. Give it a taste. That's actually really smooth. Oh my gosh. Pretty light. Woo! Well, it's whiskey, that's for sure, but man, that's really good. I couldn't tell you anything about it, what proof it is, what kind of, man, whew. Well, at least I don't have any more cutting to do. I just have sanding and staining and general touch-up of things. So we can go ahead and run with this one. I'll take another little sip. I'm not gonna sit here and down it. All right, well, let's get back to it. Okay, well, this drum is what you call a floor tom. It has these legs that sit in these brackets. It'll, I don't know, it stands up off the ground about 30 inches or something like that. But that red wrapping that was around the other drum that we had, this had the same thing, except for it came off, and now there is this sticky little underlayment on there. So to remove that, what we're going to do is we are going to put this Citrustrip all the way around those sticky spots there. The sticky strips, I guess. So we'll put that on there, let it sit for at least a half an hour. Longer is always better, but we're going to let it sit, and then we're going to scrape it off. Once we scrape off all of this stickiness, we will go ahead and give everything a sanding, and then we'll see where we're at and if we can stain the drum. Here we go. I'll tell you what, the Citrustrip is no joke. Some of it actually got on the handle of this wooden brush and is starting to strip the clear coat that was on the brush. So we're going to let this sit for about a half an hour or longer. Depends on if this stuff takes its toll on me. We might have to revisit this tomorrow. So, all right, let's wait. Okay, well, it's been a couple of hours since we applied the Citrustrip. Now what we're going to do is we're going to scrape off as much as we can. If there's any remaining glue, we're going to add another coat of the Citrustrip and then leave it overnight. So, came out here this morning and we had a really good success with the Citrustrip. I went ahead and just scraped it all off camera so you guys didn't have to worry about seeing all of that. But we're going to go ahead and sand it down with some 80 and then 100 grit sandpaper. As you can tell, I've sanded, and sanded some more. So what we're going to do is I'm going to clean this up, and then we're going to stain the drum and the back of the clock. Let's get a second update of the mystery whiskey. This whiskey is how to describe whiskey. Oh, God, I don't want these people to know I'm an idiot. Let's see, soft, firm. It's got a soft flavor, okay. Dry versus sweet. I guess it's like mixed. It's not quite dry, but it's not real sweet. It's like right in the middle. Big and subtle. A big whiskey dominates your mouth. The taste of it's kind of subtle. Let's go ahead and roll it. It was already, well, apparently the camera was already rolling, and so you guys know that I have no idea how to describe a whiskey, but it's not super rich. I mean, in general, yeah, it's got a little bit of, it's not bad. It's actually not real bad. I enjoy it. As far as whiskey goes, I'm not really a whiskey drinker, but this one, very tasty, very smooth. I'm enjoying it. All right, we're going to go ahead and stain the drum first, and then we'll move on to the backing of the clock. I'm actually using this Minwax. This is a penetrating stain. This color is espresso, so it's going to give it a nice darker brown color because we are actually going to be using this round walnut, I guess, plank. I don't even know, plank or disc that I got from somebody that I just kind of found in my travels, I suppose. But we're actually going to use that as the top and make this an end table. So we'll stain this. This will match because it's already dark. And then we're going to put our hardware on here with the feet. Then we're going to put a coat of polyurethane gloss. And that's going to be a pretty solid project. It'll be done. And I'm going to give it to my buddy Justin. And I'm going to make sure to record that so you all can see his reaction. He's going to love it. He's a drummer from back when we were kids. So been wanting to do something like this for him for a long time. Well, there's that. Let's get going. Glove on my right hand ripped, so I had to take one off my left hand and put it backwards on my right hand. That's the financial state of affairs for hammer nails. All right, let's stain. Stain is dry on both the drum and the back of the clock. What we're going to do now is I'm going to attach this top to the drum by flipping it over and adding these little L brackets to it right there. And after we're done with that, I'm going to put a coat of this clear varnish. It's a higher gloss, so it's going to give it a better shine. All right, and we're going to put a coat on that and on the back of the clock. And then we'll assemble all the hardware once that dries. Okay, here we have our walnut top. We're going to lay that down there. And then we're going to take our drum right here. There we go. Like that. Secure it. We have our brackets. One, we're only going to use 3 of them. 2, and 3. Let's separate these a little bit better. Okay. Looks good to me. We're going to pre-drill each of our holes. We're going to put them in with these little drywall screws. Nothing too crazy. So we want to make sure when we do it, though, not to torque them down into that wood, because we have a good chance of breaking these off.
We got our windows down, driving down the 405, sing along to the radio. We're gonna make it someday, nothing's gonna get in our way. We will be the biggest band in town. Round and round the world we'll go, putting on the greatest show. So make sure that you don't miss out, just be there. We're taking our shot, bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million people screaming our names when we're backstage. We'll play loud, surfing the crowd. Everybody's jumping around. Yeah, that's the place where I wanna be. Going on stage, headline on a Saturday night. Oh, oh. quit my job. Never wanna have no bars. I just wanna play my rock and roll like they do on the radio. Tommy's got brand new drums, and I still have my old guitar. And John said this next song's gonna be real good, if you know what I mean. Round and round the world we'll go, putting on the greatest show. So make sure that you don't miss out, just be there. We're taking our shot, bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million people screaming our names when we're backstage. We'll play loud, surfing the crowd. Everybody's jumping around. Yeah, that's the place where I wanna be. Going on stage, headline on a Saturday night. Oh, 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 Saturday night.
Now it's time for our clear coat. I'm going to start on the inside, work my way up, and then to the outside, and eventually to the top of the table. It is very important to work in a well-ventilated area. That's why I'm going to turn on my exhaust fan. Our clear coat is dry, so now I'm going to put the hardware on. And I'm not convinced that I'm going to leave this way. I may do one more coat on the top of here just to give it that little extra power, shine, and gloss. I'm going to tape off the clock. I'm actually going to spray paint each one of these numerals white, and that's going to give us a great contrast against that dark back. Well, it's the dead-ass middle of winter, but if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. And with the help of the mystery whiskey here, I'll stay warm. Here's the backing for the clock. We put our clear coat on it. It's actually in really good shape for one coat. I think it's good to go ahead and mount the clock to it. Let's check it out. Here's our clock with the white painted numerals. I've already switched out the motor. It's real easy to do. It's as simple as taking this nut off, pulling it off, putting the new one in, putting the nut back on. I also painted the hands of the clock so it'll match the white. All right, let's go ahead and attach it to the wood. Fasten these screws diametrically opposite from each other. That just means if we put one up here, we're going to put one in the exact opposite direction down there. Vice versa here, there. So I think we'll put in 8 screws, make it kind of like a piece of pizza. There you have it. We got our drum end table and our clock, so we always know when it's time for a beer, or in this case, a whiskey. Let's go ahead and find out what kind of whiskey we got. We have Pendleton whiskey, 80 proof, 40% alcohol by volume, bottled by the Hood River Distilleries, Hood River, Oregon. All right. Well, that's pretty funny. So my dad must have given this to me, because the story about this is Pendleton whiskey is from Oregon. My uncle lives in Oregon, and I guess he secretly shipped it out to us. And as he shipped it out to us, it showed up at my house. I had it. I never got to try any. My dad took it, and then he put it in the mystery box. So maybe I had a little bit of an idea, but I had no idea it was this. So, man, this stuff is really good. All right, I'm going to down this, and then we're going to give it our rating. Oh, that shit's good. Let's get a look at the bottle. Can we get the bottle? You got it? Okay. Pendleton's whiskey. True Western tradition, distilled from the finest northern grain, cut with glacier-fed spring water. Awesome. Exceptionally rich, uncommonly smooth finish. So Pendleton's distinct flavor profile features notes of warm fall fruits, honey, and vanilla, balanced by a hint of spice. Product of Canada. Well, you know what? Those Canadians make fantastic whiskey. That stuff is so good. Well, there you go. Pendleton's. Let's get our rating. Here at Hammer & Ales, we rate our beers on a scale of 0 to 5, 0 being the worst, 5 being the best. But in this case, this Pendleton's whiskey, and I'm not much of a whiskey connoisseur, if you will, but I do like it on occasion. As far as that goes, I actually think this Pendleton's gets 1, 2, 3, and 4 hammers on the Hammer & Ales rating scale. Much smoother than your typical like Jack Daniels and things of that sort. So as far as whiskeys go, that is a sippable, very smooth, very rich, very good whiskey. I recommend, if you can find it, grab yourself a bottle. It's very delicious. Well, that's it for this episode of Hammer & Ales. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Also, I didn't get a chance to give this to my buddy Justin. He's sick, so we got to stay away from him. But this is the artist's recreation of what his face looked like when I sent him the picture.